Welcome to the Calm Mom Podcast, the show for ambitious women ready to get off the hot mess express. I know you've got a lot going on. You work so hard, you're raising an incredible family, and sometimes it can be overwhelming. I'm your host, Michelle Grosser. I'm a certified master life coach, attorney, wife, and mom. And years ago, I was right where you are. I was running a busy law practice while raising a family, and I was on the fast track to burnout. I thought I just needed to be more organized or have better routines, but it was learning how to heal and regulate my nervous system that expanded my capacity to gracefully hold more of this big, beautiful life. You too are worthy of an extraordinary life in and beyond motherhood. Learning to be a calm, anchoring presence in your home and at work is going to be your superpower. If you're here to do the inner work that brings a sense of calm amidst the chaos, I'm here to join you on that journey. Each time you press play, your growth continues. So let's get at it. What's up, you guys? It's Michelle here. You're listening to the Calm Mom Podcast. If you've been with us for a minute, welcome back. If you're new here, I'm so excited. I get to share some time with you today. We're going to talk about a game-changing routine that has completely transformed my evenings. And y'all, if I sleep well, I have such a better day the next day. So the transformation of my evenings has led to me sleeping better, has led to me having more energy the following day. And, for fear of overstating it, it truly has changed everything for me. So my belief is that it can do the same for you. If you are someone who tends to feel really overwhelmed and irritable in that witching hour, when we're trying to make dinner and we're tired after a long day and we just fought traffic to get home, or we've been with the kids all day, or whatever it looks like. And then it's like that shift from the afternoon to evening where everyone's just kind of on edge, and then the kids catch a second wind. And it just seems like it doesn't take much. Right? This episode, I think, is going to be for you. If you're someone who has a hard time like shutting the day off and unwinding into a place of rest, if you tend to like be an overthinker or, worrying about what's on the docket for tomorrow, or like even reaching for that nightcap because you're like, holy moly, I just need something to take the edge off today. This is going to be really helpful for you. I am talking about my 9 p.m. rule, and it comes with a set of 4 intentional steps that will help you shift your nervous system from the go, go, go of the day, right? Maybe a little bit of sympathetic fight or flight energy into a more calm, deep, restorative place. And this isn't like a whole routine per se. We all have like stuff to do, but it is an invitation to incorporate some small yet mighty tweaks that really help to send the message to your body like, hey, we're getting ready for sleep, right? Signaling to your body that the day is ending and sleep is coming, and inviting your mind and your body along with that shift. So we're going to talk about transforming your evening routine, my 9 p.m. rule, and the 4 nighttime habits that go along with it. All right. But before we jump into that, you guys know what's coming. Every episode, I invite you that if you have not yet left the show a 5-star rating or a short review, if today would be the day that you would decide to do that, I would just be so grateful because one, I do love to hear from you. I love when your reviews come in and I read them and I take them to heart. And my mission is to get this information and these tools and education about the nervous system to as many women as I can, because y'all, this is life-changing and everyone deserves to know this. When I learned this, and it radically changed my life and how I felt and my energy, and thus like the mom I could be and the wife I could be and the business owner I could be and the community member I could be. I just got so passionate and I was like, everyone has to know this. And when you leave the show a 5-star rating and a short review, it helps to get the show out in front of other women so you can join in on the cause. And I'd be so grateful to partner with you. So it takes just a second. Scroll down, click 5 stars, hit leave a review, write 1 or 2 sentences, maybe something you learned or something you like. Share the show with a friend. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, let's talk about this 9 p.m. rule, and let's talk about the 4 nighttime habits. So the first thing, if you're going to incorporate a nighttime routine that helps to support a regulated, calm nervous system that can shift into a deep parasympathetic state and allow for a deep, restorative, restful sleep where you wake up feeling excited to start the day and energized, for the love of all things holy, put your phone away. I know you already know this, but I am here to tell you, if you are anything like me, and if you resist this, and if you know better, and if you are just, I don't know, I guess I was just stubborn maybe, or I was just like, thought I would be the one person in the world who could check my phone before I go to bed, or scroll before going to bed, or scroll first thing when I woke up, or check my email right before bed, and thought it wouldn't impact my sleep. I don't know. I guess I was delusional for a long time. But when I actually got serious about this boundary with myself and prioritized my sleep and knew that a part of that was going to be putting my phone away in the hours leading up to bed, holy mackerel, I cannot overstate how much of a difference it has made. So my rule is that my phone goes away at least 2 hours before I go to sleep. So I put my phone away usually around dinner time, like either when I start making dinner or after dinner. We have a little like charging station, I guess, for lack of a better word. It's really a jumble of charging cords in our pantry. I wish it was organized and beautiful. It started out that way. But now it's really just like a ball of yarn of charging cords on the bottom shelf of our pantry. And everyone plugs their devices in there. And that's where my phone usually goes. And it doesn't come up to bed with me. I did that for a long time and I slept like crap. So that doesn't happen anymore. And I don't check it in the few hours before I go to bed. Here's the deal. Every notification, every scroll, every ping is a dopamine hit, you guys. And it keeps your nervous system in this alert, hyperactive state, right? So if you are checking notifications, seeing how many likes your post got, seeing what's happening like in your email inbox, what have you, those cheap dopamine hits are not preparing your body for rest. They're actually activating your body. That digital overload, it tricks your body into thinking like there's so much to do. We have people to respond to. There's like things going on, crisis mode, preventing us from shifting into our parasympathetic rest and digest state, which is necessary for good sleep. So when we put our phone aside, right, one, we're cutting off that constant barrage of stimuli that raises our cortisol levels. It reduces our sensory input, right? Super important as we start winding down. And then what happens is that our nervous system starts to get this signal that like, it's not work time. It's not like interacting with other people time. It's not task time. It's time to slow down. It's time to decrease the stress hormone production. Stop pumping that cortisol through my body. I want to rest through the night. And it paves the way for that calmer state. We also know about blue light, right? The type of light that's coming through your screen, typically, unless you're making modifications or adjustments, but usually we pick up our phone, blue light's coming through. What happens with blue light, right? That wavelength into our eyes tells our body it's daytime. Produce active hormones, right? Produce cortisol, produce adrenaline. Let's get this body going. It's daytime. So if we're looking at our screens before bed and that blue light is getting into our eyes and it's sending signals to our body and to our glands, right, to release these hormones because it thinks that it's daytime, that's when we find ourselves with really wonky sleep cycles, with really jacked up circadian rhythms, because we're signaling to our body that it's daytime with this artificial light when it's not actually daytime. And then our body's all out of whack, right? We're exhausted by 2 p.m. the next day. We go to bed maybe early or late. We're waking up at 3 a.m. We can't fall back asleep, all because this consumption of blue light is sending mixed signals to our body, right? Keep your phone in your hand until bedtime. You're training your nervous system to stay on high alert, you guys. You might not think that's true or be aware of its impact. Give it a shot, right? Tonight by 7 p.m., can you put your phone away, right? Do not bring it into your room with you. Plug it in somewhere else, charge it somewhere else, right? Switch it off entirely. Go on Amazon right now and order an old school alarm clock if that's what you use it for and think like that's how you justify keeping your phone in your room. Go get an old school alarm clock and you can use that. What I started doing is I charge my Apple Watch in my room. And then if I need to check the time for whatever reason, if I wake up in the middle of the night or in the morning, if I'm like, is it actually morning and time to get up or is it like the middle of the night? I'll just look at that, right? And then there's no like blue light jamming into my eyes. There's no temptation before I go to bed to scroll because it's just my watch. But try it, right? Try this ritual tonight. We're at a certain time, 6, 7, 8 p.m. You physically put your phone in another room or you switch it off entirely and your nervous system will thank you for this break from constant stimulation. Okay. So that's the first thing, the first habit that I have. The second is that I do one small thing in the evening to prepare myself tomorrow, right? Something that my future self is going to be thankful for. Doing one tiny thing today to set myself up for tomorrow. Now, this isn't about like overhauling my morning, but it's like one small intentional act that tells my brain like, this is something you're going to look forward to tomorrow. This is going to make tomorrow easier. So sometimes it's sitting down with my planner and just kind of like organizing my day tomorrow and getting mentally prepared for what I've got on the docket and understanding where my meetings lie and my coaching sessions and if I've got my group program live call that day or what have you, what's going on, and then kind of prioritizing the work that I have to do in between that. Sometimes it's prepping some stuff for homeschool the next morning. Sometimes it's putting out my workout clothes. Sometimes it's prepping a quick breakfast for the morning if I'm doing something like chia seeds, like a chia seed pudding or something like that, or putting out my ingredients for a morning smoothie right by the blender. But I tell you guys, every single night before I go to bed, either me or my husband will put out our water bottle for the next morning. I put it right by the fridge where like I pour my filtered water into it. That's the first thing I do when I wake up. I fill my water bottle with water and I squeeze a lemon into it and I put a pinch of sea salt in it and I drink it. I usually drink 15 to 20 ounces right there on the spot before I do anything else. And then I'll have either like half a banana with some almond butter, or I'll have a hard-boiled egg, or just something to get some protein and fat in my body. And then I also have my coffee already set up from the night before. So I do that the night before too. I make sure that my coffee pot has like water in it. And then I put my mug there and then I put my coffee like all set up so that in the morning, all I have to do is like, I fill my water. As I'm drinking that, I eat something and then I go do my morning routine. And then when I go to make my coffee, I just hit brew or hit the button and it brews my coffee. And I don't know, it's such a little thing, but I just love having it already prepped. And now that's just part of my evening routine. I don't even think about setting this stuff up. But why it works is that it's a simple act, right? Like putting out my water bottle next to the fridge, not a big deal. Setting up my coffee the night before, it takes 30 seconds, right? But it creates this mental like safety net because it kind of reduces this uncertainty that fuels some nighttime anxiety. When I already do one small thing the night before, my nervous system receives this clear signal that like, hey, there's order to your morning. Hey, there's order. When you get up, like, it's not going to be like, nothing to eat. I'm so tired. Like, it's like, no, you're going to hydrate your body, which is the number one energy producer first thing in the morning, right? Not coffee, water. And then you're going to put something nourishing in your body. And then your like treat of coffee that you love so much, it's warm, It tastes delicious. It smells good. It regulates my nervous system, right? In that way, is ready. Like how awesome. I just have to hit a button. And that seems so small. Y'all, we can do this. And it lowers the stress associated with like what's going to happen in the morning and allows your body to fully relax in the evening. Now, if you skip this stuff, if you're like, yeah, by the time I like finish homework, give the kids a bath, put them down, put the dishes in the dishwasher, like I'm beat. I get that. And, a good night's sleep starts the day before. The same is true. Like a good morning routine that sets you up for the day starts the night before. I promise you, choose one tiny thing. It doesn't have to be something that takes a lot of mental energy. I get it. Sometimes at night, I'm just like beat too, but I always know that I have enough in me to go put my water bottle by the fridge, go fill my coffee, get it ready for the morning. And in the morning, I'm so glad that I did so. And I'm like grateful to myself. Right. So I think that's awesome. So that's my encouragement to you guys. Choose one small, simple thing that you can do tonight that'll set you up for success tomorrow morning, but keep it like super small, so small that it feels almost effortless, right? Throw out your running shoes and your shorts and a tank top. Get your coffee prepped. So the next morning you just have to push the button, right? Or set the timer on it, what have you. But so small that it feels effortless, but then keep it powerful enough that it actually is something you appreciate in the morning. Okay. The third thing, step 3, close the mental tabs, y'all. Let's talk about closing your mental tabs. We all have those pesky, lingering thoughts, right? I wish I hadn't said that today. That call, I wish I knew I should have canceled it and I didn't. And now like I have a bunch more stuff to do. Unfinished tasks, right? I don't know, guilt about stuff, mom guilt. It's like that play on loop when we're trying to unwind is one of the worst things we can do. So what I have shifted to is that before bed, I'll ask myself like, all right, what is something that I just need to let go of right now? And sometimes I have a journal that I keep in the drawer of my bedside table. Like sometimes I'll just pull it out and I'll write it down. Sometimes it's something that like Jeff said or did or didn't say and didn't do that I'm like, oh, it's just like irritating to me. And I'm like, I'm going to just let this go before I go to bed. Because if I keep stewing on this and thinking it over, I'm not going to sleep well, right? Something that happened at work. Maybe it's something that, happened with your kids. Like choose something to let go. And it's a process of externalizing those thoughts. And it's crucial because actively choosing, right? Consciously choosing to let something go, it closes that mental tab. It's like, boop, it hits the little X, mental tab closed. And we're giving our nervous system permission to let go of that unresolved stress. So it's a small act of like acknowledging the thing, right? That's helpful. And then consciously choosing to let it go, like truly let it go. It helps to prevent that buildup anxiety that keeps your system in survival mode. And then when you write it down, it's like kind of like a parking lot on your paper. You're like, I'm going to park this here because tonight is not the time that I'm going to like process this. If I want to come back to it and have a conversation about it, kind of do a body scan, see where it's living in my body, do some somatic work to release it. Like that is awesome, but it's not going to happen tonight. So I'm going to write it down here. And if I feel like it's still nagging me tomorrow, I'll come back to it and I'll address it. I'm not doing this to like avoid or suppress or deny or what have you, but it's just not going to happen tonight. And if we don't clear those mental tabs, right, our nervous system stays in this state of heightened alert. It doesn't really do a good job at differentiating between things that are really happening or things that we're continuing to think about. So when we're continuing to replay these things in our mind, and I can't believe he said that, and I wish I would have said this, and oh my gosh, that was so jacked up, and I wish I would have gotten help on this, or what have you, that triggers this cascade of stress responses, which makes it so much harder to relax and fall asleep. So here's the invitation on this one. Can you take 30 seconds, 1 minute before bed tonight to just pause and think about one thing that's like going on up here on the old hamster wheel in your brain and just decide to release it for now, write it down. If you need to come back to it tomorrow, you can. It will not be resolved tonight. It does not need to be processed tonight. In fact, it would just keep you up and make you feel worse tomorrow. So you're going to release it for the night. You're going to sleep well. And if you have to, you'll deal with it tomorrow. And just that small act can really create a big shift in your mental and your physical state. Okay. And then the last thing, step 4 on this rule is the power in ending on a high note. I heard this quote or read this somewhere, and I don't know like what the science is behind this or if there's research or if it's supported by data, but I have found it to be true for myself. And it's that so often the first thought I have in the morning is the last thought I had when I went to bed the night before. So if we can be intentional about this and end our day by reflecting on something good, something positive, something we're grateful for, right? Sometimes I'm just like, okay, what is one way that I saw God move today in my life or in my family or in my business? And I'll just like jot that down, right? A small moment, a person that I'm grateful for, right? And just send them a quick voice note, thanking them for that, loving on them, honoring them, what have you. This isn't about like forcing a fake smile kind of thing. It's about genuinely training your brain to see the good. Where our focus goes, our energy flows, right? What we focus on gets bigger. So if I'm focusing on the good, the positive, the things I'm grateful for, I'm training my body to notice more of those, which has a whole cascade of benefits. It's genuinely shifting my emotional state. And in that, right, ending on a high note sends such a strong signal to my nervous system that my day's challenges, it's like a check. It's like, check, we got through this. This was really good, right? There's so much good that happened today. And that brings safety, and that activates my parasympathetic nervous system, which shifts my body from stress to rest. So this isn't like a woo-woo, like feel good, kumbaya kind of thing. This is rooted in the science of what brings safety and what shifts the state of your nervous system from stress to rest, right? Positive reflection builds that foundation of safety, and it really helps transition your body, prepare it for this deep regenerative sleep state. If we do the opposite, you guys, you can see how that would create a state of alarm in our nervous system. And then what does that lead to? Restless sleep, increased cortisol levels. We just kind of feel foggy and exhausted and blah the next day. So my invitation for this one tonight, right? Can you make it a non-negotiable to just note one thing you're grateful for, one person you're grateful for, something that worked out that you're grateful for how it ended up working out. Maybe it was a little rocky in the middle, but it actually worked out okay, and you're grateful for that. Maybe it's how you saw God move in your life, in your family, in your business, in your workplace today. I don't care how small it is, you guys. Let that gratitude be the final thought that kind of lulls you into a peaceful rest. Okay, so those are the 4. Now I'm going to give you a bonus. And this is something that it's probably been 1.5 years, 2 years since I've really incorporated this. I used to be on the train, I guess, of thinking that having a nightcap, having that, a glass of cab at the end of the night with my husband really helped me fall asleep and stay asleep. And the more that I learned about sleep and the more that I learned about the nervous system and its impact on our sleep, the more I learned that that was actually a bunch of garbage that I had been telling myself and believing. So instead of reaching for that glass of wine or that nightcap, I want you guys to play around with, get curious, try out swapping that for a sleepy time mocktail. So I've been loving this calming blend of sometimes I'll make a chamomile tea, and I'll chill it, and then I'll mix that with tart cherry juice, and magnesium, ingredients that naturally support my melatonin production, help me relax. It relaxes my muscles. It's delicious. It's soothing, and it won't disrupt your sleep cycle like alcohol does. Now, here's the thing. Alcohol is tricky because it might seem like it relaxes you, And it does initially. That's why I thought it was like helpful, because I'm like, oh, I have a glass of wine and I'm just like, I feel ready for sleep, right? It just helps me to like unwind, and it makes me a little bit sleepy, and then it's easier for me to fall asleep. That was all true. But what happens with alcohol is that it actually messes with your sleep architecture. So it keeps your nervous system from falling into this really deep, restful state. So you're falling asleep more easily, but you're not sleeping well. You have a disrupted sleep. Maybe you're waking up and falling back asleep without even realizing it. You're not getting to that deep parasympathetic state that's needed for restful sleep. But if you make yourself a sleepy time mocktail, even just tart cherry juice, cold, or warming it up and like kind of drinking it like a tea. Sometimes I'll just put honey and some tart cherry juice and either like an herbal tea or just on its own. It nourishes my body. It compounds that with compounds that encourage a deep natural transition to sleep. And it's a super gentle way to signal to my nervous system that it's time to wind down. So give that a shot. If you are someone who routinely has a nightcap or a glass of wine or some sort of alcohol before you go to sleep, just start noticing, right? If you actually are waking up feeling rested the next day. And if not, it's probably likely that the alcohol you're consuming might be helping you fall asleep, but then you're having crap sleep all night, whether you're noticing it or not, right? If you wear like some sort of wearable, like an Oura ring or something, you can probably notice and see the correlation between, oh, when I have a glass of wine at, 9, 10 p.m. and then go to sleep, I fall asleep fine, but then I can see that my sleep is disrupted all night long and I'm kind of tossing and turning. And if you try to swap that for tart cherry juice cocktail, magnesium, chamomile tea, honey, however you want to mix it, that will really help set you up for sleep instead of that like fragmented, increased cortisol, 3 a.m. wake up. That probably happens when you're having alcohol late in the day. Okay, so there you have it. That's my 9 p.m. rule in all its glory, broken down into 4 actionable steps plus that mocktail twist. Each step designed to help your nervous system shift from a state of fight or flight into this deep restorative calm. Again, not about overhauling everything overnight. It's just like what's a small shift you guys can make today, right? Try it for a week, 1 week, and see how your evenings and then how your mornings, right? And your days and your afternoons and all of it transform. And if you're curious for more tips to reset your nervous system, you guys, if you haven't yet, be sure to download my nervous system reset guide. There's a link in the show notes for it. But thanks so much for being here today. So grateful that you tuned in. Let me know how it goes. Let me know which step you want to try. If you're going to start putting your phone away, if you're going to do one tiny task in the evening to set yourself up for the morning, if you're going to try that closing the mental tabs thing where you choose something to let go for the night, or if you're going to try that gratitude practice at the end of the day, or all 4 or 3 or 2. Let me know what you try. You can shoot me an email at hello@michellegrosser.com, or shoot me a message on Instagram at It's Michelle Grosser. I would love to hear what you guys try and what you notice. But I am here for you. I'm in your corner and I'm like cheersing you that sleepy time mocktail right now to peaceful, intentional evenings and this deep restorative sleep that you deserve, my friend. All right. Thanks for being here. I'll talk to you guys soon.
If you love Mommy's Polygraphs, leave a review.
If you enjoyed this episode, it would be so awesome if you could take a moment to subscribe and rate the podcast. And if you have just a few more seconds to leave a quick review, they really help to get this podcast out to other moms like you. I read every last review, and trust me, when it's late at night or early in the morning before my kids get up and I'm working on bringing you all of this content, your reviews are what keep me going. Leaving a review is truly the best way you can thank me. And of course, DM me on Instagram. I love to hear from you. Thanks for listening to another episode. Head over to the show notes for this episode and all past episodes at michellegrosser.com, where you'll find free resources and more ways to connect with me. If you love the show, share it with a friend. Thanks again for tuning in. We'll see you next time.